mental agony. As Rahul was an MP at that time, high standard of morality is expected from him. Sentence announced by trial court was permissible under law, one of the observations as well. Court did not agree that the appellant was denied a fair trial as he was given a chance to cross-examine all witnesses. The argument made by the appellant regarding territorial jurisdiction cannot be accepted. Remember, this is one of the things the Congress party and its spokespersons had been saying. And here's the kicker. Rahul's disqualification from parliament cannot be termed as an irreparable loss to him. And therefore, they don't feel the need to stay his conviction or look back at his conviction. And here's why those observations are important, because here's a look at the arguments that were made from Rahul Gandhi's legal side, which were dismissed today summarily. So Rahul's lawyers had argued that the trial over this remark was not fair, dismissed. They claimed that there was no need for the maximum punishment in this case. It is rare in defamation cases, dismissed. Rahul's lawyers added that his speech was quoted out of context or in parts. They had even claimed that the magistrate court's order was strange and the pieces of evidence were presented in a hodgepodge manner. None of those arguments have found favor with the court, and therefore his legal implications become complicated. So what next for Rahul Gandhi and his team? Option one, of course, is he can seek an extension of the bail that was granted to him so that he can avoid an arrest in this case. Option two is he may approach, of course, the Gujarat High Court and challenge his conviction in this case. He can also actually approach directly the Supreme Court to challenge the conviction. Whether he'll take that step remains to be seen. Also, number four, he could decide to not file an appeal at all and serve out his sentence. That, of course, seems less likely to happen. But the big debate that's coming up now is, as far as this conviction saga is concerned, how will it hurt the Congress? Will it hurt the Congress? Will it have an impact as far as elections coming up are concerned? Or is this going to blunt some of the voice and the attacks coming in from the Congress party on issues like this conviction and more?
नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, इन सबके नाम मोदी 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 कैसे?
और मैसेज इतना मुझे मिल गया है कि श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी की जो अर्जी थी वो कोर्ट ने रिजेक्ट कर दी।
I would say slap on the face of the arrogance of the Gandhi family.
कानूनी लड़ाई हम कानूनी हिसाब से लड़ें, but we have got full faith in the judiciary.
Let's go across to the guests joining us. Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, Suleiman Mohammad Khan is from the Congress party. I'm also joined by Kapil Sankla, who's a Supreme Court lawyer. So is Vikas Gupta, a lawyer as well. In fact, Suleiman Mohammad Khan himself is an SC advocate. So let me begin with Mohammad Khan. I know what the Congress party has said. There are, of course, legal options available to you. But would you concede politically this is a setback to you? Because, you know, since that conviction was announced, Rahul Gandhi had, of course, talked about how his voice is being curtailed. The Congress party found that some political conspiracy as far as his conviction is concerned. And none of the arguments on record legally that you could make have found favor. So that blunts your political arguments as well.
Look, whatever the judgment today is from the Sessions Court in our appeal, and the application for stay of conviction has been rejected. The order of the trial court convicting Rahul ji and sentencing for 2 years in a criminal defamation matter is completely erroneous, incorrect, illegal, and I am completely sure that it will not be able to pass the muster of law. One. Secondly, the rejection of application today for a stay of conviction is also an incorrect order, and I think this will also not sustain. We are availing all our legal options. We'll go to High Court, and if permitted, we'll go to Supreme Court as well. You know, never before we have ever heard or read somewhere as a lawyer as well, or I have also spoken to a lot of my lawyer friends that somebody has been convicted and sentenced for 2 years in a criminal defamation case. Why this has happened? This has happened because Rahul Gandhi ji was exposing the hypocrisy and the fraud Mr. Modi has committed on the people of India.
But are you
One
then
person,
implicating
one.
the judge?
Mr. Adani,
No,
this country has been sold out to one person by Mr. Modi.
No, this comment is
No,
first
I'm
of all
not.
not about
No,
Mr.
I'm not.
Adani.
I don't dare.
But you know,
No.
when you say these things that he has been punished
have-
for what was his political attack against the Prime Minister or his government, are you not implicating the judge who gave that order? And now another judge has looked at that order and found the conviction to be proper. Is this a fair statement to make that Rahul Gandhi has been victimized? By who then?
Yeah. I'll just correct you. It's not an attack on the Prime Minister. It's about the atrocities this government and the Prime Minister has committed on the people of the country and this country. Rahul Gandhi ji and the Congress party is raising the voice of these people.
How is
who
that
have been
connected
wrong.
to this case, sir?
If in this process, Prime Minister, no, you said attack. I'm just
No, I am
explaining,
saying
madam.
what you're saying
Second,
about
if you
Rahul
talk
Gandhi being punished virtually because he was fighting Prime Minister and his government. Is that not an attack on the judges, on the judge who gave this order and the judge who today heard the appeal,
No,
the
not
plea?
at all. No, not at all. No, not at all. We'll fight the judgment. A judge has given a judgment. We are fighting that legally. And we have filed an application which was rejected. We'll go to High Court or the Supreme Court. We'll fight the incorrectness of the judgment in the courts of law. Outside the court, in the parliament and on the streets of the country. We'll fight it out politically. Why all this is happening?
No, but when you say you'll fight it out politically, that's exactly the question I was asking you. Today, the judge has cancelled out all of your appeal arguments. One second, let me go across to my other guest as well. Shazia Almi wants to come in. You know, that's exactly the point that I was making.
No, the appeal has not been heard. No, the appeal has not been heard.
The plea for the stay of conviction. Fair enough. The plea for the stay. Stay for conviction. But my point is, you've made your legal arguments even at this stage. Those have not found merit. Now, I don't know what happens tomorrow. Good luck to you. That's not the point. The point is when it is conveyed that, Shazia Ilmi, when it is conveyed that Rahul Gandhi is being victimized because he was taking on the Prime Minister, that effectively is the attack on the judiciary, because it's the judiciary who found him guilty in this case.
You make your own inferences.
Not
Madam,
on Adani.
You can make your own.
So, Mr. Fair enough. I'm making my inference and I'm
spin
asking
it wherever you want to.
I'm making
but
my
we are not.
inference and
No.
I'm asking the question to the
You are
BJP.
spinning it.
No,
if you
I
want
gave
to
you the
accuse the judge,
opportunity
you
to
can accuse.
respond
We
to
have
this.
no problem. You
you
it.
said that Rahul Gandhi
No, I'm
is
responding to you.
You
no,
are
I'm
saying
responding
Rahul
to you.
Gandhi has
You
been
cannot
convicted.
put words in my mouth.
One second.
I am not accusing a judge. You are accusing the judge.
No. One second.
CNN is accusing the judge. I am not.
Okay, one second. Suleiman ji, just 1 second.
I heard every bit of what the predecessing speaker spoke about.
The judge. You may be accusing the judge. You can make your own inferences.
Okay, Suleiman ji, let her go ahead now, please.
So, the Congress spokesperson spoke in tongues. In the same breath, he says that we have full faith in the judiciary.
I'm sorry, her voice is not clear. I'm sorry, your voice is not clear. I'm not able to hear you what you are saying.
You have to be quiet, sir.
I'm quiet. I'm not able to listen to you, madam.
Okay, we'll fix that. Suleiman ji, please be patient. We'll fix it. Thank you very much.
You don't have a choice but to listen. That's what good manners and a good conversation is about. Okay, good listening and then answering. So it's the basics.
Don't tell me manners. Now I heard you.
Can I just have Shazia on the screen?
I was not able to listen to you.
I'm sorry, Suleiman ji, please don't add to everybody else's time.
Have your own manners.
Just Shazia and me, please. I cannot have this go on. Shazia, please go ahead. Please finish your point quickly.
No, I can't. I can't have somebody just as cantankerous and rowdy as him.
No. Anyways, he had an issue. He made it heard. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so he can't say in the same breath that he has faith in the judiciary of the country and also say that the entire country is sold out to one person. These are the words we just heard from the Congress spokesperson, who claims to be a lawyer but obviously has no regard for the judiciary, lower courts and higher courts in India. He knows very well that it would have taken an apology, an unconditional apology that Rahul Gandhi gave earlier on the Rafale matter when he called Chaukidar Chor hai, insinuating, of course, casting aspersions on the Prime Minister. Here, he clearly called out a community names. He took the names and a subsect of the community found was outraged and went to the courts. Instead of talking it being about not a fair trial, one, and Rahul Gandhi not his speech being misquoted, which did not augur very well for him, as is obvious. Instead of doing all of this, he could have apologized and said, yes, he was way out of line. He should not have attacked all the surname Modi, even if he wanted to launch a political attack against the Prime Minister.
Okay. Okay. On the issue of apology, I'm not sure if the apology is still on the table. Can I go across to Kapil Sankla on that? Is an apology still?
Rahul Gandhi will never apologize.
Okay,
you
fair
keep
enough.
On dreaming.
Okay, fair enough. But Kapil Sankla, that's not an option for Rahul Gandhi, right? An apology is no longer an option. He's been convicted, or is it?
No, that.
So we'll not. We are fighting it legally and politically
but
as
that
well.
Actually goes, sir. Let me finish. And what it actually does is that it does kind of mitigate the case
I never knew
before the appellate court, as is being done right now. You have to understand that what Mr. Gandhi did, rightly or wrongly, is to cast aspersions against a community or a surname. And then his entire defense was, no, I did not mean it. I just meant one person. And I will not apologize for it. Now, as far as criminal law is concerned, that actually means that he has admitted to his guilt and is trying to justify it. There cannot be a justification to something like this, because no prudent man of some intellect would actually cast aspersions against an entire community in the garb of saying that it was only meant for one person.
Okay, Kapil, can I come in?
The second aspect, very material, is...
May I
Yes,
just reply to the
of course
gentleman?
Sulaimanji, you will have to be patient. Please allow our guests to speak. Please be patient.
You know what is the community?
Can I also...
What is the community?
Thank you. Can I just also quickly say this?
Yes.
Because my friend is on his legs right now. Well, an appeal is only on three major points.
Yes.
You have to show whether there is an error apparent on the face of the court, which is an error, which is a factual error, or an error
can I
in
just
law.
have Kapil Sankla?
Or
No,
you have
Mr.
to
Sulaiman,
say that
not
the
like this.
process has been
Please
misused.
maintain
What
some
is the
decorum as
Alright,
far as
so
the debate is
therefore-
concerned. Please do not speak
That's-
over our other guests. I'll have to take
That's
you
all
off.
right. It's...
Please, no, not like this. I want to be able
Thank
to
you,
hear
ma'am.
what each
So I
one
was
of you are
saying that-
saying. You'll get your turn, Sulaimanji, but please be patient. You cannot be speaking over everybody else. Please, I request you, Kapil Sankla.
Two people are speaking against me,
Ji,
and you are
quickly
Sir, you will
say
get your
that an
time.
appeal
The
is
answer to
actually
that still
challenged
is
on
not that you
three-
speak over everybody else. Please, there's
Chal-
another guest who hasn't spoken. This is not how it works.
No, I have not spoken on anyone.
So quickly saying that, that an appeal is fought on three major limbs: an error which is apparent on the fact, or error which is open on the face of the record.
Okay.
The second is error on law, or where there is a gross misuse of the judicial process or the process of law. Mr. Gandhi's arguments are not on any of these fronts. He merely states that it was not to the community but a particular person, though he did not name a particular person. Then he says that prejudice will be made if the conviction is not stayed. The Honorable Court has relied on a judgment of the Gujarat High Court saying that the conviction can be stayed on rarest or rare occasions. No rarest or rare occasion has been shown. So merely on these fronts itself, a prima facie view has been taken by the court. It would be ludicrous to challenge the order of the court in the media, saying that he's prejudiced because of XYZ political reasons.
No, actually,
It
the
is better
term that
if
the
they improve
Congress
their argument
spokesperson
in court
used,
rather than here.
that today's order, that his conviction was illegal,
Ji.
today's order is also completely wrong. I'm not sure if you can say these things. You have to make these arguments in court. But I want to ask you, Kapil Sankla, what about the fact that people are raising that this is one of those cases, a criminal defamation case, where maximum punishment is rare? That's a fact, right? And
2
here's
years,
a political person who was making a political speech and has been found guilty of criminal defamation. Is that setting the wrong precedent?
Well, the short answer to this is like this. In criminal law, the conduct of a person is seen. So a person who's a first-time offender would get a much lesser punishment than an offender who is a habitual offender. So under those circumstances, if there are prior precedents against even a politician of national import that he has made certain statements which are derogatory and defamatory, and if his people around him kind of start maligning the very judicial officers who are responsible for passing that order, then I am sure if it wasn't Mr. Gandhi, it was anybody else as well, he would have it coming. So therefore, it is not the maximum, it is not going beyond what the law is, but it is using the law to its maximum capacity.
Okay.
The judge gave the maximum test that he could under that section and could not have gone beyond it. And you have to see the conduct of the gentleman and also the people around him, which is material in any criminal matter.
No, keeping all of that in mind, Vikas Gupta, don't you feel that this is indeed a setback as far as the Rahul Gandhi case is concerned?
People who have spoken
one second, sir. 1 second after Vikas Gupta. Vikas Gupta, would you concede that this is indeed both politically and legally a loss of face and a setback for Rahul Gandhi? Because none of his arguments and this whole thing that, I was only taking on the Prime Minister, that's why I've been attacked. That's not how one cases can be fought. And even that political attack has now been blunted by what the court has said today.
Shivani, losing it out, being handed out conviction by a magistrate court or stay of conviction not being allowed by the district and session court is falling for the Congress party as far as legally or as well as politically. So many times, so often we find that the impugned orders are not corrected by the session courts, and that is what the High Court and the Supreme Court is carved out to be. So as far as the ingredients of the offence does not meet the ingredients at all. Per se, I don't want to go into the merits of the case at this point in time. But one important aspect which you asked, Kapil, that whether apology can be tendered at this stage or not, whether Rahul Gandhi will tender it is a separate issue. And as far as Rafale is concerned, Rajan said that apology was tendered to the court and not to anybody else. As far as in this matter, whether Rahul Gandhi decides to tender apology to the complainant or not is a separate matter, but if he tenders even in the appellate court, the matter can finish it up. But that's entirely the
prerogative, yes. That's the prerogative and the decision of Rahul Gandhi, and it's unlikely he's likely to do that.
Conviction is concerned, so often way back in Navjot Singh Sidhu's case also, Supreme Court says that the court which has the power to suspension of sentence has the power to state the conviction also. So not staying the conviction, I think this order once challenged in the High Court will not stand.
So can I ask you, Vikas ji, what do you think is the legal argument for Rahul Gandhi to now take to High Court? On what basis can he say I was wrongly convicted, or at least my conviction should be stayed so that I can come back as an MP?
Shivani, there are two different things. Arguments in the appeal and arguments as far as the stay of conviction are concerned are two different separate matters. But once the stay of conviction is the similar argument what you make in suspension of sentence, because that's a short argument. You do not go into the length and breadth when you are arguing an appeal. So the very simple fact that there is no comment made as far as to the complainant is there, no statement is made by Rahul Gandhi as far as the complainant is concerned. That itself should be the first round for stay of conviction.
But that was something that they raised. And
just 10 seconds.
Yeah.
This ground alone should be sufficient as far as stay of conviction is concerned.
The court did remark today that words spoken by the appellant was sufficient to cause mental agony. They've justified the case that the complainant in this case made.
There is no utterance as far as the complainant is concerned. If Rahul Gandhi makes attributes, allegations against Nirav Modi or Mehul Choksi or Nirav Modi, this fellow is not, he has not said anything against the complainant at all.
Yeah, but you're very conveniently forgetting that what Rahul Gandhi said in his speech is कि सारे चोरों का नाम मोदी क्यों होता है? उसमें तो सब मोदी आ गए ना?
No, but he never said that all the entire class of Modi is like that.
Yeah, he didn't say that, but he implied that that सारे चोरों का नाम मोदी होता है.
Shivani,
सारे चोरों का नाम भी मोदी नहीं होता ना?
The ingredients does not make out the offence at all.
Okay, well, the court is deciding what it is deciding. Like I said, they will take it to the High Court. Yes, Mr. Suleiman, now please come in.
Few days ago, Chief Justice of India, Justice Dr. D.Y. Chanchur has said that these courtrooms, these newsrooms and debates doing mini trial, it's not appropriate. Now you are, this gentleman who was appearing as a lawyer seems to be holding a brief for the BJP, trying to, put allegations against my leader.
Sir, I seem to be
but the
holding
issue
a
is,
brief for
even
law,
don't know
sir.
what is the
I don't have
community.
any personal
Seems to be.
prerogative
Seems
liking
to
or
be.
disliking.
Sir, seems to.
I was only
You know,
asking
You are
law,
also
sir.
and
defaming
having
him
a
now.
legal argument which should happen.
Be very
it
careful,
seems
you're
to.
discussing defamation.
Whatever. I don't care, madam. Don't threaten me.
I'm
To
not
him,
threatening you, I'm
please.
just reminding
Don't
you,
threaten
you
me.
don't have to be so uptight.
Yeah, you are exposed, madam. You are a
I'm
journalist.
also exposed
You are
now.
not a BJP spokesperson.
But why are you
Understand?
attacking my
The problem
panelist
is Mr.
personally?
Suleiman
The
Why
way you
are
are
you
conducting
attacking the
is doing
panelist
London talk
personally?
with
I am
you.
not.
I should be the
I
one
said-
taking offense. Instead, you are acting holier than thou.
I think this
Now
this
you are
drama
attacking
which
me
has
also.
been created, 4 people attacking one.
No,
No,
the
I'm
other
saying,
person
you see,
spoke on
I
your
think Mr.
Rahul
Suleiman
Gandhi's
decided
favor
that-
also.
What do you mean?
You have
You
conveniently
should-
forgotten
please,
him.
Whenever you go home in the evening,
Yeah,
please
don't
ask
lecture
yourself,
me, Suleiman
are
ji.
you-
There
are
is
you-
a
he
limit
gave a
to
lot
how
of
much
respect to
lecturing I'll
Mr.
take
Vikas
from you.
who was there.
आपको किसने ठेकेदार बनाया है मेरे को लेक्चर करने का कि इवनिंग में क्या करना है और मॉर्निंग में क्या करना है?
मैं हूं बिल्कुल ठेकेदार।
किसके
आप मुझे
ठेकेदार
करेंगे,
हैं आप?
कैसे नहीं करेंगे? आप जर्नलिस्ट हो,
तो
फोर्थ
आप
पिलर
क्या
ऑफ
हैं?
डेमोक्रेसी का बिक चुकी
आप
90%
क्या हैं?
मीडिया।
आप
आपके
लेक्चर
कौन है
करेंगे
owners?
मेरे को?
कहां से फंडिंग आती है आपकी? कहां
अरे
से
आपको
फंडिंग
क्यों
आती
बताऊं
है?
मैं कहां से
CNN को
फंडिंग
कहां
आती
से
है?
फंडिंग
ED
आती
है,
है?
CBI
प्लीज
है,
टेल
क्या
मी,
है?
हु इज गिविंग यू सैलरी?
अरे आपको क्या लेना देना है? कहां से सैलरी आ रही है? आप डिसाइड करेंगे क्या जर्नलिस्ट की सैलरी कहां से आ रही है?
अच्छा,
decide करेंगे क्या?
फंडिंग चैनल कैसे चल रहा है?
तो आप decide करेंगे
impartial
कैसे चल
चलाओगे?
रहा है?
नहीं, मैं नहीं करूंगा।
तो फिर क्यों पूछ
इम्पार्शियल
रहे
हो
हैं?
आप? इम्पार्शियल
आप impartial हैं?
इम्पार्शियल नहीं, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, देश को पता होना चाहिए
नहीं,
कि
आप
ये
अपनी
क्यों चल
बात
रहे हैं
रखिए
चैनल,
ना।
किसके
आप
रुपए से
सबके
चल रहे हैं,
ठेकेदार
कौन
मत
है
बनिए।
दुपति
आप
चैनल
एक
देता है?
पैनलिस्ट
नहीं,
को
मैं
बोल रहे हैं कि
पूछूंगा,
बीजेपी
इस
के
पे डिबेट
spokesperson
करिए ना,
लग रहे हैं।
एक बताइए
दूसरा
ना।
पैनलिस्ट जो
नहीं,
बोल रहा है उसको
बताइए
आपने
ना,
दर निकाल कर
बताइए,
दिया।
कहां से
आपको
आ रहे हैं?
एंकर रिमाइंड करा रही है
Where
कि
is
आप दूसरे
CNN getting the
पैनलिस्ट को
money
मत
from?
अटैक कीजिए।
Who are the corporates who are
उनके नाम पे आप
contributing to
सवाल
you?
मत
Who are
उठाइए।
your
आप
owners?
उसको
आपके ओनर कौन है? बताइए
सोच रहे
ना,
हैं।
बताइए ना।
लड़ने के लिए आप आए हैं
मैं पूछूंगा,
और फिर
ये
आप
जायज सवाल है देश के लिए,
दूसरों को चोरों
पूरे
बोल
देश
रहे
को
हैं।
झूठ बता रहे हैं।
सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं ना पैनल पे, सब
हम
बात
आपको छोड़
सबने अपनी
देंगे,
बात
आप
रखी है।
हमें गलत डिबेट
आपको
करेंगे,
स्पेशल है
गलत
क्या?
बात कहेंगे, आप क्या दूध के दूल्हे हैं?
नहीं,
किससे
मुझसे
पैसे
क्या
मिल
लेना
रहे हैं?
देना है भाई? आपको इतनी
किससे
क्यों
पैसे
चिढ़ हो
मिल
रही है
रहे
मेरे
हैं?
से?
कहां से, कैसे ये चैनल चल रहा है?
आपको क्या लेना देना है भाई? चैनल कैसे चल
नहीं,
रहा है?
आपके
आप
चैनल की
चैनल पे
बात कर
गेस्ट
रहा हूं,
हैं,
not you
गेस्ट के तौर
personally.
पे आए हैं ना।
आपका चैनल कैसे मिल रहा है? Who is
अरे
getting
who
you
are
money
you
from?
to worry
Where
about
are you
it?
getting your money from, madam?
अरे who are you to ask me that question?
The whole country should worry.
The country will worry.
I am a citizen of this country. I'll ask you and you have to answer.
No, I don't have to
Either
answer
you say
you.
I don't have the answer.
Do you
Just
not
say this.
understand law?
Yeah, okay.
You've come up as a
Oh
lawyer
my God.
and you are
Everyone
saying that
should
if
ask
you ask me a
People
question,
will
I have
keep
to
on
answer that
asking you.
question.
The whole
Basic
country
tenets
will
of law
ask
you don't
how
seem
these
to
channels are
understand.
being run. The whole
Just
country will
because
ask
you are a
this.
citizen of
Where
this
is this money
country
coming from?
doesn't give
That
you
these
the right
channels are
to malign
working.
professional
Everyone has to
reputations
answer
of
to
all
you.
other people that you professionally engage with. Kapil
Professional.
Sankla and I included.
Where is the funding of this channel coming from? Where is
Look
this
at the
funding of
behavior.
this channel coming from?
This
Don't
is
go
what the
into this
Congress
debate.
Party spokesperson wants to do.
I
Instead
have
of
to
put
ask
his
this.
point across.
I have to ask this, madam.
No, you don't have to
I have to
ask.
ask this.
You
A
feel
legal
sanctimonious.
matter.
That's why you
Rather
think
than
you can
court.
ask these
Three people
questions. You
sitting
don't have to
accusing my
ask.
leader, and I'll not attack you back.
Who attacked
Three
your
people
leader?
attacking me in a courtroom, a legal matter which is in a court of law.
So you are coming to talk about that legal matter.
matter
The Congress
which is
is
in
doing
court of
press
law
conferences
is
on
being
this
attacked
legal
in the court-
matter.
here in the
Why is
courtroom,
the
in the
Congress
newsroom.
doing press conferences on this legal matter?
A legal matter debated in the newsroom.
So why is the
Three
press
people
conference happening
accusing,
by the
and then you
Congress
are
party?
saying, don't do this.
No, why is the Congress party holding press conferences
What?
on
I'm
this
sorry?
issue? Why?
We have to reply because
So,
otherwise
I have to
you'll
debate?
You'll
What's your
show the whole
problem?
country that Rahul Gandhi is the worst person.
In any
We
case,
have to tell
Vikas
the
Gupta,
truth
you
because
seems
you
to
are not
be
telling the
putting
truth.
across the
You are
point of
telling
view,
the
let's
truth.
say from
You are-
Rahul
you
Gandhi's
will get
point of
exposed.
view. I'm not
No,
sure
I
whether
was
Mr.
telling if you
Suleiman
allow me
heard
to
you,
speak,
but he
because that
he
gentleman
seems to
spoke and
believe
then
that
you
nobody
spoke.
is putting
I
us
don't
on
want to sit
his
on your
side.
channel. Sorry.
I don't know what his problem is, but in any case.
I
Shazia
think I
Elmi,
was
let
just
me take
saying
final
that
comments
I
from
might-
all of you.
might
Yes,
or
Kapil
might not
Sankla.
agree with Vikas ji, but at least he made sense.
Yeah, you have
Yes,
to
all I was
present your
saying
view.
was that,
What
you
is
know,
there to get so
kudos to-
angry about? It's a case the whole country has discussed. The Congress party has no
Exactly.
problem
At least
with
what
that.
Mr. Gupta, I might or might not agree with him, but what he said made sense as far as law is concerned.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand what Mr. Suleiman is saying.
No,
or whether he's
I
a
don't
lawyer, so
think,
we'll leave it to
I
that.
do think he was out of line
but-
to attack you personally, Kapil Sankla. That's a behavior that he will have to answer for. The viewers saw it. And I don't think there was anybody else who was out of line against him. I think maybe he wanted to create a drama. He succeeded in that at least. But Shazia
I
Ilmi,
think
political
that's
question.
exactly what he was doing with Shazia as he was also talking. Yes.
No, in any case, Shazia Ilmi, the fundamental question is, do you believe this is going to be of political use to you? The fact that Rahul Gandhi's, stay has not been granted, now the matter will drag, of course, to an appeal. How it goes, how fast we goes, we don't know. There is a question in the balance whether he can come back as an MP. There's a 6-month window available to him. Do you see this as a political point for you, or is the Rahul Gandhi story a separate story that is irrelevant to the BJP now?
Well, I think it is up to the Congress party to figure this out, whether they want to stay relevant or not. The kind of behavior I just witnessed on your channel, I really think it's rather pathetic. This entire narrative building, this drama, this victim card, and this perceived persecution by all channels against Rahul Gandhi and that one person. He didn't even bother to give some credence to someone like Vikas ji, who's on the opposing side where I'm concerned, but at least would talk about things logically. So they have to decide, do they want to get all hysterical, paranoid, and make it about some narrative about some crazy random persecution which is not happening, or they want to be real. And I'd like to say they want it to be about, they want to fight it legalistically, politically. What is the ground going to be? Where is the battleground, and what are the rules of those battles?
Okay.
I think we have to see that, because something quite insane is going on, and I just witnessed that on television. I mean, I cannot figure out for the life of me as to what was happening and what kind of defense, and how does it even serve him as a lawyer and the party to have somebody like him as a spokesperson. So I'm not getting it clearly, and I'm quite happy without that knowledge, the deeper understanding of what the spokesperson of Congress party was trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But this is purely on legal grounds and logic. The option was there for Rahul Gandhi. He did not avail of it. He has been a serial offender. This is not the first time it's happened. He's anyway on bail. The matters have gone up before. There are 6 other cases on which he has to answer for. So clearly, they need to decide about which way they want to go.
Yeah, I think fundamentally what was the large headline for just generally for the public today, and Kapil Sankla and Vikas Gupta, I'll give you 30 seconds each, is what the court said about the MPship of Rahul Gandhi. The fact that the court declared that, the fact that he is no longer an MP might not possibly be able to contest elections. Remember, it's not just about his MPship today. He might not be able to contest elections for the next 8 years if his sentence is not reversed. That was very key for me, that it is not an irreparable damage, and that alone cannot be an occasion or a reason to to stay the conviction. Is that something you think will set a precedent of sorts as far as these matters are concerned, MPs are concerned?
Shivani, is it to me?
Yes, because you can go ahead. You can go first.
Yeah, but, Shivani, this is a session court order will not be a precedent at all, because that's not a binding, and that's not only the orders of the judgments of the High Court and Supreme Court are precedents. But as far as I think,
let's say the import of that statement, the import of that judgment.
Yeah. As far as the stay of the conviction is concerned, I think just wait for a couple of days. It will be going to the Honorable High Court of Gujarat, and you will definitely find a reversal of the orders of the Session Court, in my opinion. Because looking at the judgment, on the basis on which this complaint itself was filed is erroneous, because that is contrary to the CRPC.
Okay,
So
I have
once
limited time. Sir, I have limited time. Let me give 30 seconds to Kapil Sankla on that question as well.
Agreeing with Mr. Gupta on this point that this would not be a binding precedent, but I would like to say...
I didn't mean legally per se. I just meant in terms of public opinion. Yeah, sure.
I understand. Yes, I'm coming to that. So that's the second part of what I was saying. Yes, the legal part is that there are two orders against Mr. Gandhi that he would have to meet. There are 2 concurrent findings. That is one. Secondly, you're absolutely right as far as public perception is concerned, and let us be very realistic here. Judges and people of the judiciary also watch the news, they also read the papers, they also want to understand what the public perception is. Rightly or wrongly, whether they follow it or not, that's another story. And the third is very material, is what the defense of Mr. Gandhi is going to be. As I said before, going by what Mr. Gandhi's defense has been doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. However, we will only wait and watch what the Honorable High Court or the Supreme Court says. Stay of conviction is a rare occurrence. Let us see whether the courts would be inclined to give that grace to Mr. Gandhi or not.
Okay, all right. Stay of conviction is rare occurrence. So is a conviction in a criminal defamation case, and that too for up to 2 years in prison. We'll leave it at that. I do thank all of our panelists for joining us. Moving on, slain Dawn of Prayagraj, Atiq Ahmed has now made an entry in the Karnataka elections. A massive row has erupted over Congress's star campaigners list. Congress's Rajya Sabha MP Imran Pratapgarhi is included in this list, and soon after a full-blown political war broke out, with BJP raking up Pratapgarhi's links with Atiq Ahmed. The Saffron Party also released his old tweet showing images of Pratapgarhi with his Atiq and his brother Ashraf at a function. The Congress was quick to respond to the attacks, claiming that Pratapgarhi is a poet from Uttar Pradesh, and there's no surprise if he's pictured even with the likes of Atiq Ahmed in the past. Let's take a quick look at the political barbs. First of all, the BJP claiming that Imran Pratapgarhi has links with slain Don Atiq Ahmed. Congress responded that he is president of their minority cell and deserves a place in their star campaigners list. BJP alleges Pratapgarhi has once called Atiq Ahmed his guru. Congress claimed that he is not behind bars, that is, Imran is not behind bars as he has not committed any crime. The Saffron Party added that Atiq and his brother Ashraf took part in Pratapgarhi's events. Congress claims Pratapgarhi is a noted poet and therefore his picture with Atiq should not come as a surprise. Now, Congress is saying, of course, that there is nothing wrong, but in the past, they have also raised issues of propriety against their opponents too. For example, in July 2018, Congress had slammed BJP leader Jayant Sinha for garlanding lynching convicts. In April 2019, the Grand Old Party attacked BJP for fielding, for example, Malegaon blast accused Pragya Singh Thakur from Bhopal, not convicted. In July 2019, they accused BJP of extending patronage to the Unnao rape case convict Kuldeep Singh Sengar. In August 2022, Congress alleged that BJP is supporting Bilkis Bano rape convicts. So is it not a question if its own leader has old links with a notorious gangster who was the terror of UP for decades? Further than that is also the question, will the Atiq Pratapgarhi link be relevant as far as the Karnataka polls discourse?
Fame is that he has made poetry in praise of established mafia dons of UP. It is the words of a star campaigner of Karnataka Congress कि कभी शायद किसी का कोई कद ऐसा कद नहीं होगा, कई सदियों तक कोई अतीक अहमद नहीं होगा.
Imran Pratapgarhi is the chairman of our minority cell and he will be coming. What is wrong in that? We are not saying that someone who is coming, who is under that, who had committed some crime, who is behind the bars, we are not doing that. But people who are asking about the star campaigners, can they answer that why Jatin Prasad, why RPN Singh, why Jyotiraditya Scindia? Because they are self-acclaimed star campaigners.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Anand Gurumurthy is the Karnataka BJP spokesperson. Rashid Kidwai, author and senior journalist, tracks the Congress very closely. The Congress party refused to join this panel. B.S. Arun is senior journalist. I'm also awaiting Suman Sriraman, political analyst, from joining us. Rashid Kidwai, let me begin with you. Is the Congress going to be a little bit uncomfortable with these links coming out, knowing very well that the politics in Karnataka, especially from the BJP side, can be pretty polarized as well?
I don't think the Congress is going to be very overtly embarrassed about this, because this was a pronouncement when a person with a criminal past, a known criminal past for several years in assembly as well as in parliament. Actually, the party that should be really embarrassed is Samajwadi Party, who had given him Atiq a ticket and made him member of parliament. Oh, and at that point of time, the person that we are talking about, Imran Pratapgarhi, was not even, I guess, formally in the Congress, and he is a poet and he has made certain observations. However, this thing would look at the real core issue is about involvement of criminals or people having criminal antecedents in politics. And as we see in the 17th Lok Sabha, the percentage is 43%. and it cuts across all party lines. That is an element that should be disturbing. But that is not a poll issue in Karnataka. This is a drummed up narrative.
No, the poll issue
see,
is not so much that there is criminality in politics. The poll issue is you've got a campaigner of the Congress coming in who's had links with a mafia don from the Muslim community. We've seen some not so highly ranked Congress leaders singing praises for Atiq Ahmed. It's that angle that I'm talking about, that, you know, the Congress party has links with members who even have such dreaded past like Atiq Ahmed, and they're saying that he's the minority UP, you know, head. What does that have to do with the fact that he's seen with Atiq Ahmed?
See, by that stage of imagination, somebody can question, you know, the Prime Minister Modi and his party for giving, you know, Padma Bhushan to Mulayam Singh Yadav, who actually had given ticket to Atiq and brought him to Parliament, to Lok Sabha. So I am saying these are all political postures. We cannot be, you know, making this as a this is simply election taking place in Karnataka. It is for a particular government against a political government. How is this become, you know, a poll issue when Mr. Pratapgarhi was that point of time was not even in the Congress or added this thing, and he was not. Whatever he said was not in this thing that a minority commission member or a minority, I mean, wing of the Congress party, you know, praising another member of minority and all. I mean, criminals don't have a kind of religious identity.
Exactly, but he is on record in the past in praising Atiq Ahmed. Wouldn't those videos or audios haunt him? Because we all knew what Atiq Ahmed was even then. But let me take your point forward with Anand Gurumurthy. What is the big deal here? There are images, videos, people share even events in politics before they came into politics with people who may fall on the other side of the law. That alone cannot be, you know, a question to raise against the Congress party. He's only one of their star campaigners.
See, I want to just take you 2 days back. Our Home Minister takes a very important role there, and he speaks about interconnection of police services among the states and the center, and ensuring that drug mafia is completely curtailed in India in the coming years. And it is something which has been, you know, planned from the last 5-6 years. See, these are all very important things that should happen. Why? The reason is these drug mafia and the drug, you know, discharge their products to drug peddlers, which comes down to high school children. High school children are, you know, distributed with drugs, and then this kills our country in a very big way. So this mafia involvement, okay, at all levels is killing our youngsters, which is something which we have to curtail. For that, we should not allow politics to seep into mafia people and mafia people to seep into politics. This is something very important. The connection must go away so that they don't have an influence on the country's politics and our democracy is protected. But for this reason, it is very, very important that it is very, very important that people who are star campaigners, okay, must have a clean image, right? Congress is not even thinking about it. They are trying to reach out to these people. In fact, if you see in Karnataka, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar says, whatever the BJP has done, we will reverse it. In fact, they will not cooperate with us, like Mamata Banerjee, they will not cooperate with us in anything. You have seen at all levels, even if it is, you know,
those
in
are
the
separate
interest
issues.
of nation, they will
Let's
not
just stay
cooperate.
focused on the Atiq and Imran link. Now, you said that people, you know, mafia people should not have influence in politics. Fair enough. But like Rashid Kidwai is saying, that question goes to Samajwadi Party rightfully, right? They're the ones who gave him ticket to then get the sanction as a parliamentarian, right? Imran Pratapgarhi knew him from a time that was different. He wasn't even in the Congress at that time.
See, what he was is not the question, okay, whether he was in Congress or in some other party or any, that is not the matter. He is close to a very big mafia don, which clearly says that he is associated with him, and Congress releases him as one of the star campaigners. Now, the intent of Congress is being questioned here. What is the intent of Congress? What are they trying to achieve through this, and what are they trying to, you know, project to people? So this is something which we have questioned, and they have not answered, and they have not even come to this show, which shows that they don't have any answers. They are just doing this with some intent, which they don't want to express to the people of Karnataka or people of India.
Okay, B.S. Arun, how do you read this? Could this become an issue for the BJP to exploit or for the Congress to be embarrassed about in Karnataka?
I think BJP will continue to point out this fact, about this MP's involvement in praising the dawn of UP. But then, we have to consider one thing, that is the things that have happened, outside the state. I'm not saying it's not important, but then they generally don't have a great impact here. I think here it's the local factors, issues like reservation and other issues. If communal incidents have happened here, then yes, that is important. But Don getting killed and somebody praising him, and that man now becoming the Congress star campaigner, I think is not that important here among the people. But political parties might exploit it. That's not surprising. Congress may not get involved much in this, and I'm sure Congress won't take him off the campaigners list.
Sumansi Raman is also joining us. Sumansi Raman, could this become an embarrassment for the Congress party? I mean, as all parties give these spiels about propriety, that, you shouldn't, of course, be mingling with people who obviously have Atiq Ahmed's kind of past and antecedents. Here you have their minority cell head, their star campaigner in Karnataka, whose past bonhomie, if I can use that word, with Atiq and family is becoming a topic of discussion. Is that not embarrassing?
It will become as much a topic of discussion as the photo which the Samajwadi Party put out with a minister sitting with Atiq Ahmed. Look, I think that we have to understand that these are distractions. These are not the issues on which the Karnataka elections should be fought on. And it is clear that the BJP is now sort of, having to go into these issues simply because campaign of this 40% Sarkar has sort of damaged their credibility in Karnataka. And I think that the one thing about the BJP is that they fight till the last minute. Whatever happens, in fact, they fight even after the results come, which is sometimes a bit of a problem. But the concern is this election is slipping away from the BJP. It is very clear. Now, how they will hope to salvage it with the Prime Minister's last minute blitz, that's basically the only hope that they have. And you can see very clearly the distancing of the Bommai government by their own senior leadership. I mean, what more example could you have when the Prime Minister doesn't even mention the Chief Minister's name in his campaign rallies?
Okay, I'll take those questions on another day because, we're not discussing that. But Anand Gurumurthy wants to come in. Yes. Are you clutching at straws purely because you've got no other attack against the Congress party?
Shivani, I just want to tell this very clearly. Okay, there are two senior journalists and an analyst there. So I just want to tell this very clearly. At the background, if we do not dissociate criminals from politics, okay, then it is not a solution to the people. And these are very senior people. If they are telling that, okay, this does not have an impact in the elections, that means people are not aware of this, is it? If you please go to the ground level, people are aware of this. How the mafia people are, peddling drugs and doing all kinds of activities which are affecting the social life of people.
But
is something the society has already realized.
That's a fair point.
People are talking about it, and
that's a fair point on its own. My fundamental question to you is
so
that
people who are associated. No, people who are associated.
Imran Pratapgarhi's past videos, comments on Atiq, maybe a reflection of what he was doing at that time, but he wasn't with the Congress party at that time. If he was to do these things now, it would be a question.
Friends don't change, Shivani. Friends don't change so easily. He has friendship. He had friendship. Those friendships will continue. That will reflect. Once, if these people come into power, right? Congress people come into power, definitely the friendships will, push things into Karnataka.
Fair enough. Rashid Kidwai, you want to respond to that?
Journalists are not even analyzing.
Rashid Kidwai, you want to respond to that? Fundamentally, it's a man who was linked with a Don. Whether he was a politician at that time or a poet alone is irrelevant. Today, he is in politics.
Absolutely. I think this law or this kind of that premise, that foundation we are trying to lay, it should apply to everybody. So whatever Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia had said about Prime Minister Modi, whatever Smriti Irani had said, about Prime Minister Narendra Modi should also, become part of political discourse. It is not. Everyone has a right to learn and live.
No, they often are.
Precisely.
It's not like they're not.
Yeah, I'm saying this is a political narrative where
whatever he's speaking, Shivani, just give me a minute.
Let him finish.
No. Whatever he's speaking, it has already been rejected by the people in many mandates, election mandates, and also courts have cleared. Okay, still he wants to make a judgment on TV. While it has been clearly shown, Shivani, today that the association is very close. Many photos have been released by BJP, but they don't have an answer. But still, a senior journalist is defending. I'm just worried
No,
where
let the
journalism
public
is going.
decide.
Sir,
It's
please
okay.
see
He's just
what
putting his
you are
point of
speaking
view.
and what you are seeing.
He's just putting his point of view. Very quickly, Suman
No,
Siraman, I have 30
See,
seconds.
point of view, Shivani, point of view is very clear, okay? Point of view is very clear. He wants to blame a political party and a leader who has already got so many mandates, and also he has been clearly cleared by courts, and still he makes a judgment. Why? He doesn't have to speak anything.
Okay, one second.
Which is in present, okay? Presently, Congress
No,
is
fair
doing
enough. That's
something
not a very
which is,
good analogy that
embarrassing
I'll
the
give,
public
because
here.
what they said when they were in a previous political avatar is not so relevant. Here we're talking about someone who was a known gangster mafia with hundreds of victims, and everybody knew of the terror that he was guilty of in Uttar Pradesh. Even as a poet at that time, for Imran to be associated with Atiq, there's a video of him glorifying Atiq, is obviously a question on his character. But whether that will hurt the Congress is the only question I'm asking. Yes, very quickly. Rashid Kadwari, 30 seconds, then Suman Siraman.
Yeah.
Yes, I think as my friend Mr. B.S. Arun is saying, this is not a very important or pertinent issue for voters in Karnataka. The BJP is within its rights to raise it. Every politician has a right to, learn and live, and that's how it happens. So I'm saying in support of my friend from the BJP that Mr. Pratapgarhi has a right to make amends. That's the thing.
Maybe he will come out and say something. Suman Siraman, I've got barely 20 seconds. Barely 20 seconds, Suman.
I think people are forgetting that this man was a 5-term or 6-time MLA.
Yeah.
And he was also a former member of parliament. There would be, if you go and dig up, you could probably get photographs of him sitting with virtually,
I think that's a larger statement on our politics than on just who is seen with him. I leave it at that because I'm almost completely out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. We have to slip into a very short break. On the other side, we'll get you more about the brand new Apple stores in India. A lot of people commenting, why is this a big deal? We'll try and decode. Stay tuned.
Respond to his or her constituents. Constituents reach out, and then the job of the politician is to try and extend help or get the government to extend help. So the Congress is claiming that that's all Siddaramaiah did. There was no need for that rather terse response from the External Affairs Minister saying that this is appalling and you're playing politics. He's after all responding to his constituents.
Zaka, a politician is not just responsible for his small constituency, he is also responsible for the nation. You are a chief minister of a state and you know that around 3,000 people are stuck in Sudan. You talk of only 31 people? How parochial can you get? How parochial and how narrow-minded can you be? You are a Congress and All India party is now trying to narrow itself down to a regional party and behaving like a DMK. Karnataka is the most cosmopolitan state, and the state has been welcoming all. When you talk of only 31 people or 3,000, and then you make a public tweet giving the location of the person, is that right? Government has done, every government in the past, this government in its own term has done wonderful evacuation, whether Operation Sankat Mochan, Operation Ganga, Operation Rahat, where even foreigners have been rescued. Do you think lack of media attention means lack of government attention? So trying to say that because of that tweet, suddenly government woke up, I think I'm not understood. They have got thousands and thousands of people, a record number of people evacuated. When you talk of only one kind of caste, one kind of people, it is nothing but pure parochial politics.
All right. Aishwarya Mahadev, why reduce it just to parochial identities just because there is an election coming up? Had that election not been there, would Siddaramaiah have publicly tweeted about this?
Did Congress speak about this when the earlier operations took place? No, they welcomed the government.
Okay. Let Aishwarya respond, yeah.
We don't need any lessons on any evacuation programs because from the Gulf War, and post that also, the UP has done its responsibility. When you talk about a parochial mindset, sir, I will not even engage in that, because if Mr. Siddaramaiah had not spoken about these 31 Kannadigas who are part of his state, who are his people, would you have even known about the plight of the thousands of others? You would not. Would you have even made that contact with them? You would have not. And this is not the first time. Twitter has been an asset for people in order of communication from the time of Ms. Sushma Swaraj onwards. A lot of these responses and these sort of requests have come up, and the government, when it's convenient for them, they say we did this, and the power of social media. But when an opposition leader raises the voice for his people, it becomes parochial.
All right.
And so let me remind you, during COVID, what happened? It was each to their own. It was every state for themselves. It was migrants from UP, Bihar, migrants from here, there, whatever, while the central government stayed blank. While Karnataka also offered shelter, Karnataka looked after its own. I do not believe at any point you talk about this larger idea of a parochial mindset, but tell me, would you have voluntarily have offered up the
Ratan
fact that something
Sharda, final word. I got to wrap up after that.
the people of what is happening?
Yeah, let him respond.
Absolutely not. This is
Final
the
word,
sheer
Ratan Sharda. I got to wrap up after that, Aishwarya. Thank you. Please yield. Yeah, thank you.
The first bit of Siddaramaiah, no Congress leader has spoken of all the 3,000 people. And again, to believe that, because I said every party has done its bit for evacuation, and do you think that government is sleeping till you make a tweet? This is how the government works. Sorry. Government eyes and ears are always open. They have evacuated people as and when, with complete courage, complete commitment. And you keep on speaking for last press only of 31 Kannadigas. That is the problem. 3,000 include Kannadiga. Now, for example, CNN didn't say which state this particular person was on the panel. They said Indian. So what's the harm in that? So that is why I say problem is your over propagandization of every issue, and that is what is going to hurt you, not the government or India.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. I want to first go across to Prabhu, who is an Indian national who's stranded in Sudan. I'll also be joined in a moment by Aishwarya Mahadev of the Congress. Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher and author, is also joining us. Prabhu, first things first. आपका स्थिति अभी कैसा है? आपका जो डेली नीड्स हैं, आप वो कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं? कहाँ पे फंसे हैं और आप कितने लोग हैं जो फंसे हैं सूडान में?
खाने के लिए तो हम लोग जो इस घर में आए थे, रेंट ले लिया था, तो जब भी हमारे पास ना दुकान खुली हुई थी तो रोज लाके खाना बना के खाते थे, दुकान सामने ही थी, तो हम स्टार्ट नहीं किया था, हमने रोज लाने का खाना पका के खाने का ये काम करते थे हम लोग
जी।
तो हमें कोई मैसेज नहीं मिली है ऐसा कुछ यहाँ फायर होने वाला है, तो हम कोई मैसेज नहीं मिली हम स्टार्ट करने के लिए, तो एक साथ ही ऐसा फायर होने लगा तो हम इमरजेंसी पूरा डोर लॉक करना पड़ा, तो हम अंदर ही लॉक होना पड़ा, तो बाहर
Welcome back. A brand new Apple retail store has now been opened in Delhi. The store was inaugurated by CEO Tim Cook in South Delhi's Select City Walk Mall. Cook welcomed the customers and even took photos with fans before the store opened its doors at 10 a.m. This is, remember, Apple's second store in India now. The first one was launched in Mumbai on April 18. The Apple's arcade store employs over 70 retail team members who come from 18 different states in India and collectively speak more than 15 languages. Interestingly, Apple has also launched the services of a savings bank account, but of course it remains to be seen when they will launch this in India. Now, given how much time Tim Cook is spending in India for the launch of their first two stores and how much attention he's getting, gives you an idea about the importance of Apple. Apple sales in India have touched the $6 billion mark in financial year 2022-23. 2 Apple stores in 2 days is unprecedented in many ways and underlines the importance of India as a market for Apple. So far, it had stores opened by Indian partners such as Imagine and Future World. Apple now becomes a full-stack player in India, managing everything from manufacturing to retail. Remember, Apple couldn't open a store in India earlier because of regulatory restrictions around single-brand retail. At Apple stores, the actual sale of products takes the back seat and the focus is on experience. Like a town square, people can walk in and spend as much time as they want with the products. People can bring in their doubts, get them sorted regarding their devices, etc. Each store also has Apple geniuses who handhold customers, provide them technical advice. and they're also available to help the customers make the appropriate decision on their purchases. Now, a lot of people have been wondering why such a hullabaloo about Apple stores, and they are right in some ways. But with Apple, it has always been about brand identity and even hysteria. So let me give you a short background, especially about their stores. The first Apple store was opened in Virginia in 2001. Steve Jobs then was criticized for getting into retail. Today, Apple, though, has over 500 stores across the globe. Few stores have also become iconic locations in themselves, like the Carousel du Louvre in Paris and Grand Central Terminal in New York. I leave you with a couple of reports from Apple's new store. Thanks a lot for watching.
The Delhi Apple store has been inaugurated by Tim Cook himself, and in fact we are here to give you the inside tour of this very Apple store which has been finally inaugurated. So once you enter this store, you have the lovely staff welcoming you to the store, and in fact you have over 70 people working over here who can speak at least 15 languages. So if you're not from Delhi or you doesn't understand any one or two languages, there's no issue. You can come here, you can communicate well, you can understand what your tech needs are. So once you enter this store, the first thing which is in front of you is the iPhone deck, the entire iPhone deck. You can find all the variants over here. This is the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Pros, the iPhone 14 Pro Maxes, everything you can get here under one roof. As this gentleman is right now actually testing this phone, and actually this is the USP of this very store. You can come, you can feel the product. How does it feel?
It is huge. I mean, a store, Apple store in India, that too in Delhi, it's humongous. Especially that area, that today at Apple section, that is the main USP of an Apple store. So yeah, definitely.
You can see the crowd over here, the people who have gathered over here to witness this grand opening by Apple.
So we're entering the Apple Socket store here at the Select City Walk Mall, and just look at the excitement around. It's just insane. It's like crazy. And the moment you enter the Select City Walk Mall, this Apple Socket. So the first thing I'm going to greet it with is the latest range of the iPhone 14 Pro, the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pro Max as well. And you get the entire range of iPhones waiting to greet you right at the storefront. It's a pretty small store compared to the Apple BKC store that is there in Mumbai, and like you can see, you can just cover the entire store in like around 10 minutes walk. And after the iPhone, this comes the area of the Apple Watch. As you can see, all the latest range of Apple Watch 8 series is over here, and then you have the iPad as well. Whatever Apple sells, whatever iPhone variant, the color variant, maybe the color of the storage, everything will be available at this store at Apple Arcade. That's the specialty of any Apple store versus any other reseller store.
The last 1 year, for 52 weeks, we've been #1 across time bands, across our different data points, across different viewer segments. The fact that for the last entire year we have dominated the ratings, there is no parallel to this. 1 year of non-stop, undefeated, unbeaten #1. I think it's a great testament to the young team here at CNN News 18. This is great validation for us and for this young team here to continue on this path and to continue bringing you stories that we believe are making a difference to your lives.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching News Epicenter. I'm Anusha Soni. It's a setback for Congress leader Rahul Gandhi from the Surat court. The court rejected his application for a stay on conviction. Remember, Rahul Gandhi has been sentenced for 2 years in a criminal defamation case by a magistrate court. Now, to save his political career and to restore his status as a member of parliament, it's imperative for him to get a stay on his conviction. A mere suspension of sentence is not enough. While doors are open for Mr. Gandhi, he can move the High Court or the Supreme Court to get relief. Though this court order is just round one of the long legal fight that lies ahead, but it has immediate political implications for Rahul Gandhi. For starters, Mr. Gandhi continues to be disqualified and his fate hangs in balance as he is barred from contesting elections for the next 6 years. The BJP argues that the court's denial to grant him immediate relief also disproves the Congress argument. The argument that magistrate court order is legally flawed and procedurally problematic. Will Rahul Gandhi be able to secure relief from the higher courts? Will the Congress continue to hold on its argument of political vendetta? Our focus on News Epicenter tonight.
नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, इन सबके नाम मोदी 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 कैसे?
और मैसेज इतना मुझे मिल गया है कि श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी की जो अर्जी थी वो कोर्ट ने रिजेक्ट कर दी।
I would say slap on the face of the arrogance of the Gandhi family.
देखने पे भी झूठा और बेमानी दिखता है। जो कारण दिए गए हैं इस निर्णय में वो बिल्कुल संदिग्ध हैं, गलत हैं। कानूनी रूप से मैं कह रहा हूँ,
कानूनी लड़ाई हम कानूनी हिसाब से लड़ें, बट वी हैव गॉट फुल फेथ इन द जुडिशरी।
Well, let's give you an overview of the court observations and the reasoning behind the court order, a major order that came from the Sessions Court today. Number one, now the court argues that it can't be disputed that Mr. Rahul Gandhi was he was an MP, he was president of the second largest party. So it was incumbent upon him to have some kind of political maturity and responsibility while he was making those statements. Number two, moving on to the second limb of the argument, looking at the appellant's stature, he should have been more careful. It was in fact the argument of Mr. Rahul Gandhi that the court had placed a higher onus and responsibility on him, which is not right, according to Mr. Gandhi, but that argument was not accepted. Any defamatory words are sufficient enough to cause mental agony. It was said that the mental agony caused to a community and there are no particular individuals that can be booked on this, and that was the argument that was put forward. The court also reiterated that the comments would have definitely caused harm to the complainant's reputation. These were certain statements that were made that entailed a surname being used by Mr. Gandhi as a cuss word. Now, let's also move forward and see other limbs of the argument. On Rahul Gandhi's appeal, the court ruled that there should be a rare and exceptional case for grant of stay. Well, talking about the law of the land, it has often been said that once there's a conviction, for it to be stayed, there has to be very strong grounds. That's what the court is reiterating. The court further added that Rahul Gandhi failed in demonstrating, or his lawyers failed in demonstrating, that if the conviction is not stayed, there is irreversible damage that can be caused. Rahul Gandhi and his legal team believes that they can take this matter to the High Court. And thus, the court believes that the appellant hasn't made any case to suspend conviction recorded against him. The grounds which are needed to suspend conviction, especially in cases of this nature. There's some latest news coming in on the story. Let's go to that. And as I was just talking about the fact that High Court could be moved after this jolt from the Surat court, it is anticipated that in the next 1 or 2 days, Rahul Gandhi is likely to move the Gujarat High Court. Now, his team is analysing the details of the order. An appeal will have to be made and filed before the High Court. That's how the trajectory works. Sessions Court, High Court and then the Supreme Court. Ananya with us on the broadcast. Ananya, it was inevitable. They had to go to the High Court. That's what is going to happen in the next 2 days, hopefully.
Well, definitely, that is the the legal ladder that they have to climb now, and High Court is the next step in that. Now, what is very clear is that the sources are telling us that this order, there's been the 27-page order that has been passed by the Sessions Court in Gujarat today, is being analysed by the top legal brass and the top legal minds, which are the part of Rahul Gandhi's legal team. And after the analysis of this particular order, appeal would be made, and that appeal would be filed before the Gujarat High Court. Whether Rahul would be going to file that particular appeal, just like he did for the Sessions Court, is something that we'll get to know in a few days. But the scathing observations of the court have clearly been a problematic day and have amounted more troubles on Rahul Gandhi. Clearly, whether the court says that since he was the MP, since he was a member of the parliament, since he was the president of the second largest party in the country, it is something that is a matter of concern and he should have been more careful. Now, this is something that is going in the way of Rahul Gandhi, and now with this particular order, no kind of a reinstatement of as a member of the parliament. Also, it is
And all those arguments,
unlikely
Ananya,
that
that
would
he
be
had
able to
raised before the
fight.
court, none of them had cut ice, and he has not gotten immediate relief from the Sessions Court like he wanted. Ananya Bhatnagar reporting live from Surat and getting us all the details. Let me take this question to our guest as well. But because, as I said earlier, this order has direct political implication. The Congress party has been crying political vendetta and saying that it was a motivated order without any legal basis. And if it was without any legal basis, why didn't Rahul Gandhi get any kind of immediate relief? That's the question that the BJP is asking. Joining us on the broadcast is Sanju Verma of the BJP. We also have Swati Malik from the Congress party. Amitabh Sinha, who's a senior lawyer at the Supreme Court, is also with us on the broadcast. We'll also have Tausif Ahmed Khan, a lawyer and analyst, to join us in just a few minutes from now. Swati, let's open the debate with you. If the order of the magistrate court was procedurally flawed and legally baseless, then why is it that the Sessions Court has refused to give Mr. Rahul Gandhi any kind